Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go outside and play.
Disclaimer. We are not professionals. We are not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence and enjoy the video.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Vision video. You know we got to start by thanking all of the YouTube subs. We're almost at 5.5K. Let's go. And you know we got to thank all the Patreon members. So shout out to everybody supporting us via the Patreon. We really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for, doing everything that helps out the algorithm. Let's get right into it.
All right, so we got a couple comments on our last video talking about how we shouldn't be comparing Elsa to Donald and Daisy. We're going to be talking about our reasoning behind that first. We're going to be going over some other things in the video. But for Donald and Daisy versus Elsa, we're going to be talking over price, mints, looks, Easter eggs, dates, popularity, appearances, and target audience. We're also going to be throwing in the Steamboat Mickey Ultra Rare and Iron Man for little comparisons as well. So for price, we have the Donald and Daisy sitting at $1,700. 13,000 mints, and the Elsa sitting at $3,550 at 12,000 mints. So 1,000 less mints to Elsa, and the price is about double of the Donald and Daisy. And then the Steamboat Mickey Ultra Rare is sitting at $5,300 with 7,000 mints. And then the Iron Man is sitting at $2,575 at 12,000 mints. So as you can see, the Donald and Daisy is the cheapest out of them. Donald and Daisy has two first appearances, Donald and Daisy. And they're also, well, let's just go into mints next. So mints are pretty much the same on Elsa and Donald and Daisy. The looks, what are you thinking for the looks? Because I personally think that Donald and Daisy looks better before you click them in the app, like when you see them in the market and stuff. And they still look super good. But Elsa doesn't look as good before you click on it, but once you click on it and see the detail in her dress, I'd say Elsa probably takes the cake for looks. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this is a good point that you always bring up and I forget about is how things look in their icon in the app, because I feel like that does make a decent difference in terms of like just getting people to click it and kind of getting people's interest to begin with. So I would agree with you. I would say that probably the Donald and Daisy does pop a little bit more in the app. I'd say they're relatively equal, but if I had to choose one, I'd maybe go with what you said. But yeah, in terms of like detail and the product, when you're like looking at it in AR, Elsa is definitely more detailed. And I know people like we were kind of saying this too, but these new golden moments might be slightly more shiny than the older ones, but I still think that Elsa is going to win in terms of, appearance, just because it's extremely detailed compared to the Donald and Daisy. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
And by the way, we're saying this just to have a conversation. We're not saying to sell your Elsa. Yeah. And we didn't mean that in the last video either. We were trying to show that Donald and Daisy was undervalued compared to Elsa. We weren't trying to say to sell your Elsa and get Donald and Daisy. We were just saying that maybe
do your own due diligence. None of this is financial advice.
And also remember, every time you sell one of these Disney Golden Moments, or if you're considering buying one, just remember when you go to sell it, you're getting hit by 8.5% fee. So remember, your collectible is going to have to go up 8.5% in order to even break even on it. So next we have Easter eggs. So, I mean, the Easter eggs for Donald and Daisy, people are saying that since it's shinier, you can see the little like camera if you like look at most parts of it because it's so shiny. I don't think that's an Easter egg because like other collectibles have it. So the only Easter egg part would just be that it is so shiny, which I do like. But then there's Elsa, which has the utensil, like the sculpting utensil.
Yeah, I believe it's a chisel, but something like that.
I heard it was like the sculpting utensil that they use to make her.
Yeah, that could definitely be. If you zoom in, I'm pretty sure there's like a little sculpting utensil in her shoe. And then in addition to that, there is the voice box and the gigantic file size. I don't know if that's been fixed, but I know that might not be as much of an Easter egg, but a lot of people were thinking that they might update her to like sing or something like that, given the voice box and everything like that. So other things to keep in mind when comparing these two.
Trevor also did say the file size was so high because of the dress though. So he like kind of broke that little speculation down. But I do definitely think there are going to be more things coming to the Golden Moments as time goes on. Next, we're talking about date, which is obviously the Elsa and all the other older Golden Moments came out in November, and this Donald and Daisy just came out like yesterday. So, I mean, I'd say the other ones are OG because they're in that set with Walt, or they're not like in a set. That's like the thing that kind of makes me a little sad because it doesn't say Series 1. It just says Golden Moments. And then people could look at these once we have 50 to 100 golden moments at some point, like we could easily have over 50 golden moments, because like that's how many they have in the park, but we can see that we're not getting the same ones in the park, so we don't know how many are coming. Could be getting less, could be getting more. I think as time goes on, we will probably see upwards of 100 in the next 10 years, but I mean that's obviously speculation. We have to see what happens, but I do think people are going to know that the Elsa is part of the OG set, but the new one is the first Valentine's Day special. So if people start talking about how that's like a cool thing about them, maybe that could be a little part for the Donald and Daisy. Next, for popularity, this one is where it gets a little difficult, because Elsa is definitely more popular right now. Like as in, like, I think there's more nostalgia for Elsa just because the movies are super good. Like both Frozen movies are really good. I think a lot of people watch them. A lot of people like them. Not as many people are watching Donald and Daisy right now, but I bet at least 2 times the amount of people like know about Donald and Daisy than they do Elsa. Like if you were to ask a bunch of random people, I mean, I'm guessing most people would know both of them, but once you start to get in other parts of the world and stuff, I'm going to guess that more people know about Donald and Daisy than they do about Elsa, just because Elsa's so new.
I would definitely agree. And I think this ties into the target audience, which we'll get into, but I do think that Donald and Daisy might be slightly more popular just because, I don't know, people who maybe like grew up watching that as opposed to like the recent Frozen movies, but it's all speculation and it's really hard to actually determine like how many Elsa fans there are versus how many Donald and Daisy fans there are. There's no like data out there really for that. If there is, please link it down below so we can check it out, but I didn't see any when I was looking. So but I do think that is something to consider. And even though we might not get all of those people who might be fans of Donald and Daisy in the app buying NFTs and stuff, I do still think that it might be slightly more popular. And like Carter said, on a global level, I do think that maybe they're more recognizable than Elsa, but who knows? Maybe Frozen is just as popular abroad. But
don't get me wrong. Frozen is definitely super popular. Like I know there's going to be people in the comments saying like Elsa's like super nostalgic, or no, not nostalgic, but just like super well known. And she definitely is super well known. But I do still think Donald and Daisy are more popular. If you're going to ask like the whole world, I think more people in a survey would say they know about Donald and Daisy than Elsa. But could be wrong. You never know. Then the last thing, well, we have appearances. So I mean, Donald and Daisy have been appearing in shows and maybe movies. I'm not even sure, but like they've had appearances all over the place.
And I mean, Disney World or whatever, like the costume, like or whatever. Yeah. So I think those have been around longer than Elsa in the parks as well. So I think that could maybe have an effect.
Yeah. And then the target audience, we're going to be talking about who's buying. So this is where it comes down to the price. What do you think if somebody were to come into the app? If you're, I mean, it's kind of hard to say like who's coming into the app and like buying these things, but I do think it's way easier for somebody to come in and spend $1,700 than it is for somebody to come in and spend $3,550. And I don't know, because like you're getting a good golden moment either way. Like they're both super good. And there's 2 first appearances in the Donald and Daisy. It's not OG, so it's not the first set of golden moments, but like I don't know. It's so hard. Like we definitely want to know what you guys think in the comments down below, because it's a hard one to compare for sure.
I do think that it might pop out a little more in the app, and the price, like you said, I mean, it's like 1,500 or more, like cheaper than Elsa. And so I think that alone just makes it a lot easier for people to come in and buy. I still don't know how many people are gonna come in with 1,500 and drop it on one thing, but I do think it has a slight advantage, but it's really difficult to tell. And I'm also not like a Disney expert, so I really don't know what all of the Disney fans are going to come in and do. So if you guys are big into Disney, I'd love to know what you guys think. We're not trying to bash any of these, by the way. Like we're, all respect to golden moments in Disney and all that stuff. But we do think that there is a slight, difference, and kind of the Donald and Daisy is slightly undervalued. Relative.
Yeah, I also wanted to say lastly, right before we get into the other things, that I think Donald and Daisy can double. Like, okay, so to double, Donald and Daisy just needs to increase another $1,700, and Elsa obviously needs to, in order to double, it's going to take another $3,550 added to the price already. So Elsa is going to be sitting at $7,000 if it's doubled, and Donald and Daisy is going to be sitting just over 3,000 at 3,400. So I mean, I do think it's easier for Donald and Daisy to double, but if something big drops this month, then I could also see Donald and Daisy getting a bigger hit than Elsa, because Elsa is going to be more steady if something big happens, just because it's been out for so long. It's already in the hands of people holding, and Donald and Daisy is still going to be in the hands of people that just got it on drop. So those are the last little final thoughts. All right, now for the comics dropping on Wednesday, we got the Marvel Premiere number 21. Let's go. We got the Iron Fist. We saw this on Go Collect yesterday, and it was, I think, sitting at $1,200 for a 9.6 grade. So decent little comic, but which we didn't catch in the last video, it says super limited edition comic. So how many editions? 10,000. So this is,
let's go.
Yeah, this is 10,000. Usually they're sitting at 30,000 editions. So this is nice little change right there. I don't think this is going to be a super popular comic. So, I mean, that's probably why they made it more limited, because maybe adding a little bit more value to it. What are you thinking for price? Because since it's not super popular, but it is less editions, maybe 20, maybe 30 for common.
Yeah, I'm thinking, because in the past, Hitmonkey was another 10,000 mint, right? And that was reaching prices of like 50 to 70, right? Like, first day or day of drop. And that I feel like had more behind it. I'm not sure if there's any Iron Fist movies, TV shows, appearances coming up. If there are, please let us know down in the comments.
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, I think the Hitmonkey had more to back it up, and I feel like the 10,000 mint comic was a bigger deal back then, and now we kind of realize like, oh, this is, they're gonna keep doing this with a bunch of different comics. And I also just think that I think the focus is on collectibles and whatever the final spicy thing this month is going to be. And so I don't think as many people will be buying in to this comic at like 60 gems, just because, new users, people with smaller accounts or stuff like that might be trying to save gems for the collectible rather than this comic.
Yes, sir.
I would agree. I think like the 30 range, maybe like 20 to 40, but I don't think it'll really reach like 20. I feel like 30 to 50 is probably like a decent range, but probably on the lower side, if I had to guess.
Also, we have not gotten that comic update like we thought we were going to be getting a few weeks ago. So that comic update for the showrooms is probably got to be here real soon. So
that's right.
And all the comics are sitting low. So if you guys are thinking about picking up a comic, now might be the chance, because Marvel Comics I saw today was sitting at $350. So that was up there in the 700s. Quite bonkers.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens, because I remember last time we had a comic update, it was the update for being able to like read upside down, like being able to tilt your comic, and that alone spiked the comic prices and got everybody's interest back in the comics. And so I'm wondering, what this showroom update will do, because I'm guessing it'll have a similar effect. So maybe some plays to be made in the market.
Yes, sir. Lastly, we're going to be talking about the Inked Stories Eve physical collectible redemption. So I'm pretty sure, I think if you have the Veve NFT, then you're going to be getting this for free. I originally thought you were going to have to pay for it when it came out. I thought you were going to have like exclusive rights to do it, but I think you're going to get it for free. So that's pretty sweet. I was right when the article came out, I went to the market and I was like, all right, let's see who actually buys this. Cause I thought like one person was going to buy it. Cause it was sitting at $1,700. That's a decent amount of money to just go and just like buy, just cause you're getting a little like free little action figure type thing. But, it is cool that Veve's doing this. So I think they're going to be doing a lot more of this stuff in the future.
Yeah.
And I would start refreshing and I saw like 3 of them get bought instantly. 4 of them, 5 of them, 6 of them. They just, like, people were just buying those. I was sitting there like, oh my God, people are really willing to spend like over 2,000 on this. So, I mean, people are definitely like liking it. It definitely pumped up there a little too high at 2,400 and then started falling back down. I think now it's sitting around 1,700, which is about what it was before it started pumping. I mean, actually, I think it's sitting around 1,450. So a little bit higher, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Stay tuned for the next video. We're gonna be talking about some old past Veve news that could be coming back here. So if you guys like the video, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button if you want to be notified when we post. This is Veve Vision, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Let's go.
Homie, homies, let's go. Let's go, homie, homies.